Hello, good morning. Welcome to Game Spoils. This is probably a terrible idea recording at 5 a.m., but the servers came up, and it's currently a land rush for here. But it looks like there's plenty of space right now, so I am going to... Let's go find ourselves a claim. I do have the new processor now, and I might do a comparison here, but it's running so much smoother. Alright, so I need to get to the Nexus. Hopefully I can get there before too long here, so we can check out our options. The prime spots are going to go pretty quick. I don't need to be too close to the warping point, but I don't want to be too far away. The sky is flickering and stuff. They did a whole bunch of patches with this. Whoa. Why'd it go... The hell was going on there? The lighting engine apparently is being a little strange. Okay, I would prefer to get into a Tier 2 or Tier 3 at this point. Probably a Tier 2, because you can find iron there. I think you can find it in Tier 3s too, but I don't know what the difference is, really. But Serenity, Tier 2. Let's see what's happening in... Pingo. Tier 3 is the highest tier resources a zone can have currently. And I'll probably be on that tier before too long. As long as it's somewhat near the entrance, it doesn't matter. Let us see. That's better. Alright, where are we? Oop. Damn it. Go away. Look at that. There's room. What a concept. I want to build in kind of a wooded area, so we're going to check out here. So I want to head north. And helps if my hand's in the right spot. This is a terrible idea, recording right after I wake up at 5 a.m. Wow, somebody's like getting right to it there. Nice. I really don't want to be too far from the Nexus point. I don't need to be right on it, but... Yeah, it looks like north is the best bet at the moment. Unfortunately, I wasn't here like right as the servers were coming up, or I would have been able to grab one of the really close spots. Looks like there might be a space at the top of this hill, actually. That'd be fine. Let me see how the view is. Well, we got ourselves some trees. Oh, this could work. I wonder if we can claim it. Well, one way to find out. Oh, no. No. Somebody claimed below. Disappointing. Some space in there, I think. Yeah, looks like there's some space in here. How's this area look? How to find a claim 101 right now. Ooh, I like the forest. I don't really want to build on a cliff face. It can be a bit unruly. Is there a flat space? I'd have to remove some trees around, but that's actually quite doable. And most people seem to want to build high. I'm fine down here. Please don't freeze up on me again, game. Great. Nope, we've crashed. Alright, really hard to tell. See, I want mostly above ground. God damn it! I wanted this spot. Yeah, I can just go north a little more. It's not a big deal. That's kind of a nice little wooded spot. I was looking forward to that. Now let's see what's this way. Stupid crashes costing me my locations. Now, this cliff has probably been claimed. Most of it, yep. Now, supposedly they have fixed the voxel bugs in this build. Well, let's see what's right over here. There's probably a prime spot. Somebody just claimed that area. Yeah, this place is, land rush. I'm glad that it's actually pretty quiet right now, or this would be much, much more annoying. So I guess we will hit either here or here. Because I don't feel like playing Jenga with places. Although I think you could squeeze one in right here on this cliff. Actually, I might try that. That could be an interesting spot. Let's see, we got some trees, got a decent view. Sure, why not? Let's see. Ooh, you can. Plenty of room. The question is, do I want to build, like, more up? Yeah, here. This spot right here. Maybe a little further over. Oh, I can actually build up here, too. No, I want this location right here. This looks good. It's going to be a bit of a hilly area to build, but I can flatten that out. Actually, in that interest, let me see here. Maybe I should build down here. And it's just in this little valley here. It's a little flatter. I don't really want to deal with this giant slope. So I will build... Bam. Confirmed. Let's go see what the heck it actually looks like. Yeah, placing it from up there is a little tricky because you can't quite make out what the terrain actually looks like. Yeah, if I'd put it up here, we would have had all this mess. So I would have had to dig into the cliff face. Here, though, a bit flatter. We got some terrain variation. That's a good thing. And a few trees. Perfect. So this is it. This is where I'm going to be building. Excellent. Assuming nothing dies, it would be good. I have this... This is why you shouldn't record at 5 a.m. right after waking up. Excuse me. Let's see. So we have all this space, but what to build? I guess the first thing to do would be to clear out some space. Go. So the first thing I did was I ran over here and started clearing out some terrain. I was experimenting with the tools, just trying to see exactly what they do. Along here, one of the main problems with digging into some of these areas is you end up with these irregular edges to your claim. I don't have the erode tool or the smooth tool yet. I'm hoping that I can come back with that tool and kind of ease those corners a little bit so it's less harsh looking. But I wasn't too concerned with it at this point. Here I am, just figuring out, yes, you can move the trees. This includes the really big ones. You just have to find the right spot and right-click on it. You know you've got it if it highlights and you go into that handout pose. You can move them around and you can delete them by hitting delete on the delete key. You can also undo things, which is really, really kind of useful. The thing to be careful about, though, is once you delete a tree, you can't get it back. So don't delete anything that you might want to use as decoration later. A little bit more clearing out going on. I needed some space to work. And I was also trying to decide exactly what I wanted to build with. One thing I discovered is don't do what I'm doing here using the large volume brush to fill in these areas. You don't get the dirt that you're replacing. So I burned through all my dirt doing that, and I probably should have just undone and used a smaller brush. But I didn't. But then again, dirt's pretty easy to get, so it's not that big a concern. What I ended up deciding to do, which I should start in just a moment here, is construct a bit of a lean-to for my tools. You'll see me place down the tools here. You can rotate and resize them, so don't be intimidated by the fact that they look huge. You can make them actually a much more manageable size to actually put inside of structures. So I wanted to build something to house these. And that seemed like a very simple project to learn the tools, so I went for it. Now, picking your textures currently is really kind of strange because it's hard to tell what the texture actually looks like from the interface. I also discovered pretty quickly that you don't really want to use the smallest block as your primary building. Definitely feels like you should do the 3x3x3 for the bulk of your walls if you want to have a thin wall. And then you can either move in and etch your details rather than trying to add detail work to the outside. It makes it much easier to tell what the textures are going to do. And it just seems like a more natural way of working with things because, yeah. That's added on with the fact that the slope tool, or at least the angled block placer that you can use right now, I'm sure that I think there's actually a slope tool that's much, much more flexible, but working with these sharp angles, it's just better to... you can't make them any smaller than that. That's the smallest that they go. Now, I was playing around with putting a layer of wood along the sides, and then I decided, you know what, this would be easier if I could just copy-paste, so I spent forever trying to figure out how the copy-paste tool works. The trick to it seems to be it always pastes at the bottom of where you're placing things. And that takes a bit of getting used to. Yeah, once you've placed like an angle block, you can remove chunks from it. And you can also use the angle block as a remove tool, which is something I might experiment with later. Here I am just trying some more stuff on the wall. I really had no idea what I wanted this to look like. I ended up going with a very simple design in the end. With these posts here. Yeah, now, after this, I finally managed to actually get the copy-paste tool to work. There's somebody running around past. This is still during the morning. Everybody was land grabbing. I haven't logged in yet to see how much is left. Yeah, I decided to kind of make these things. And then I had this happen. The geometry gets really kind of strange if you have corners next to arcs like that. So I kind of experimented to see if I could get it to look better. In the end, I think I decided to go with the original look. And that was me just like, what the heck? That texture doesn't look anything like what it did there. Yeah, ultimately I just went with, yeah, just the basic. I mean, the geometry gets weird, but it actually looks just fine. Now, I just decided to copy and paste this side over to the other side so I wouldn't have to recreate it. And this is one of the most useful tools, period. There is no mirror option that I could find, but you can rotate it. So you just have to make sure that anything that needs to be flipped is symmetrical. In my case here, I had to shorten the post on the front and lengthen it on the back, but the rest of it was pretty much mirrored, so it was easy enough to deal with. Now, after this, I will be putting on a thatched roof. I experimented with putting a corner on it, and then I found that, which makes kind of a rounded corner look. But without the proper angle tool, I kind of had to fake the slope. You'll see what I ended up having to do in a moment here. This is very much like trying to build in Minecraft in this sense. Since I can't do any finer slopes, I don't have the smooth tool or anything, so I did what I could. I'll come back and retool this after I have some more tools. But it doesn't look too bad. And then I just filled in all of the space over the top. Got to thinking, hey, this thing billowing smoke and fire into a thatched roof probably looks kind of terrible. So I toyed with the idea of moving it. In the end, I made the forge smaller and put it back inside the lean-to. Now, you've got this sharp cliff in front. And probably the most irritating part of this particular build, since I was still figuring out the tools. Yeah, here I am moving that outside. Boom. I just, yeah, I think I'll run some slopes across on the inside to round that out a little bit. Yep, I decided to put down some stone flooring, so since I don't have a replace tool or a paint tool, I just cleared out this, and then I realized that you can use, yes, the select tool to select large areas and just delete them, which is really, really nice. And I started laying down the floor, and yes, the copy-paste, once you figure out how it works, so useful, because you can just bang, 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 and you have a floor. Although it can be really kind of squirrely and picky about things, because I left a big seam there. So, yep, I just filled it in with some stone. And everything was good. But now you still have the sheer cliff face here. So I thought, hey, oh yeah, I realized that the somewhere along the line my saw table disappeared. Fortunately, if you log out and log back in currently, if your tool disappears like that, it will be replaced into your inventory. It's a known bug. It's a temporary thing. So I thought, hey, I'll put some steps leading up to the thing. So I started filling in with some stone here. Now, steps, as it turns out, kind of strange at the moment. My initial attempt is this one, where I ended up doing just like really narrow steps like that. And again, I used copy paste to make it a little bit quicker to get it all together here. So it's just a repeated pattern. But you ended up with these really, really, really tiny steep steps, and it looked kind of terrible. Yeah, here's where I was really figuring out it's the bottom. You have to have something to put your copy tool on top of. You can't put it to a back. So, yeah, you need to make sure that you have a base in place for it. But it just didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. So I tried to figure out how to make the steps a little wider. And I realized that doing it this way was going to just take forever. So I came up with a different plan. And it's like I would have to extend it out a lot, and then this would have just taken forever, and I should figure that out in a minute here. Yeah, it's around here that I realized just how much I would need to extend each layer. So I just decide, I'm trying like big swatches, and no, it's not any easier. No, I'm still being stupid. No, that's not going to do it either. No, that's, nope. Come on. I figured out, there it is. Yes, I realized that there's a much easier way of doing it. So I just created a flat piece that was the thickness of the step that I wanted, and just started laying down stacks. And this is much easier. So if you want to make a staircase, this is how I recommend you do it. And bang, that's a much better looking staircase. I came over here to fill in the side a little bit because it was kind of floating. And then I decided I need some kind of detail work along the edges just to finish it out. And I'm not really happy with the way that this looks at the moment. But it was also pretty early in the morning, so I'm going to come back and add some better detail work along the edges here later. I'm actually laying down iron block. The first texture there is riveted, which just doesn't look right because the rivets aren't lined up. I ended up going with banged steel, I think it is. And just ran some of those down the edges just to make it look a little bit more finished off. And I think I'm going to add some railings. Maybe try to do something that looks like wrought iron. But that's pretty much it. I learned a lot about how the tools work. And there I am just putting the furnace back inside the lean-to there. Yeah, you can make it really, really small. It doesn't affect their usefulness at all. Just, well, makes them smaller. And that's pretty much what I did this morning. I thank you for watching, and tomorrow, or whenever I do the next video, we'll be building some more structures here. Probably something a little bit more complicated than a lean-to. I've got a few ideas. Until then, thank you for watching.